Welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, and beauty is a liar. This is an astrology channel. If you're new here, today or yesterday, Venus just went into Taurus. The sun is in Taurus. And I want to talk about how beauty is a liar because so many people are chasing beauty, or not even chasing beauty consciously, but they are. We all are. We're attracted to beauty. And if you think of Venus, Venus likes to be in Taurus. It also likes to be in Libra. And if you think of the sign Libra as well, it simultaneously represents beauty. And also a key word for Libra could be liar. And that doesn't mean that if you're a Libra, you're a liar. But there's a reason for that. And that's because beauty lies. And in today's world where photographs and videos are everywhere, we see something that we think is beautiful and we think that's what we want. And I think of all of the purchases that people make online, the travel destinations, just the vast number of things that people can buy online, or even just spend their time viewing, and it's all a lie. And people have no idea. What I mean by that is, I can look at a destination, say, and think that's the most beautiful place in the world, I want to go there. And then when I get there, it doesn't live up to that same impression I got by watching the video. And that's what I mean. That's an example of beauty lies. And when you get there, you could have an amazing experience, but it really has nothing to do with the external beauty of the place. It's the energy behind the location. It's the energy behind the person. And many people don't realize that, and they're never gonna get this. They're not gonna get it. You could think, even as I think of the many people that watch, I'd say it's got to be like somewhere around 70, 80%, some high percentage that what people are watching on television and the internet has to do with beauty as the number one reason why they're attracted to it is because of beauty. And beauty could come in different forms too, like it could just be appeasing to the emotions, just something that makes you feel good. Think Venus, feelings. And that's why television does what it does. That's why this positivity, the trending idea that the power of positivity, good vibes, all this, that's why that is so popular. It's not because good vibes are it's a better way to live, to feel like that, etc., to talk. It's because people are selling the idea of good vibes. They're selling the idea of feel good, selling beauty. It's all a lie. And they're doing that because they're trying to get attention, and they realize that the people that 80% of what people are watching has to do with Venus, has to do with beauty. Because they're chasing good feelings, usually because that's what, people aren't getting the good feelings in their life, which is fine. That's the reality of life. You don't always feel good. It's impossible. This is another reason why beauty lies. It's impossible to reside in the state of beauty at all times. And I'll give you a couple examples of this. Men chase beautiful women. And again, most of them will deny this all day long because they're completely ignorant. Men chase beautiful women, and sometimes they may attract a beautiful woman or get to be around a beautiful woman. And then when they're around them, they may realize that this person isn't the doesn't really make them feel good. But they're so brainwashed by this idea of external beauty that they might not even see it, and they'll continue to think this way. They'll continue to attract, kind of fall in this loop for the rest of their life. And even if they come to the conclusion that uh, the what they're chasing or what they're attracting isn't really good for them, they'll continue to fall into the trap of chasing beauty with their eyes through photographs and video. Women do it too. Women do it too. I'm thinking particularly men, and it's a lot. It's all a lie. And I think of when I think as well of Venus and Taurus. I think of some people that I know that have Venus and Taurus, and a couple of them aren't the most attractive women. And this could be specific to me. I realize that, but a couple of them aren't the most attractive women, and yet I thought they had a certain beauty to them that I was attracted to them. And it was interesting that some of them that weren't considered beautiful, people that were around would ask me. I think of one in particular. He asked me what I thought of her, and I said, because he knew I was attracted to her. And I said, she's beautiful, she's pretty, and he's like, nah, she doesn't do it for me. And that's an example of a guy who exactly what I'm talking about doesn't recognize. Now he was actually, what's interesting, he was from Mexico. He wasn't even, or from down south. He wasn't even American. And so there may be that to me verifies it even more. There's that disconnect. He's just looking with his, he doesn't really know her. He's never really spoken to her. He's just looking at her externally. And that's an example of what I mean. And I've also seen the aspect where Venus in Taurus is a very externally attractive woman, and also has that internal draw of having Venus in Taurus. So I've seen both examples, and this is something that's not going to go away. I think it's always going to exist. That this idea that beauty beauty lies. I mean, there's so many examples I can think of. I've known examples where women have Libra sun. Uh, they've had Venus in a aspect to the ascendant. So when you see Venus on the ascendant, think of like Angelina Jolie. I think she has Venus on the ascendant. This is going to really, really make this powerful. And I've seen Venus on the ascendant in my personal life, but this particular person I'm thinking of, if it has an aspect, if Venus has an aspect like it's like 60 degrees, or it's in an exact degree of the ascendant, I've seen that also play out with a very strong Venus person. But this person I'm thinking of had that, and she also had Venus in Libra, but she had a bunch of Scorpio, and her Venus was in Scorpio as well. And the guys that would be, some of the guys that she'd be around would just give her everything. The one guy offered her a car to basically stay with him. And in the end, this guy had a hard time dealing with her because she wasn't the most beautiful person internally. She had a lot of issues, but externally, this guy was completely fooled, and would do things like offer to buy her a car to get her to stay with him. And that's the power of the lie of beauty.